Hello, good afternoon. My name is Osvaldo, and I'll be explaining how the status quo has continued to fail. Today, I will be discussing with you the status quo continues to fail throughout what we have been following it for decades. It's now up to us to challenge and make changes for everybody in the world. The world is in crisis not just because of last month, not just because of COVID-19, but because of the few decades, because of us and our wake up call, we cannot ignore it. Time and time history has shown us that price for turning away, failing to act and much too high. Our parents and grandparents remember all too well with things we were like in the 30s and 40s. Economies collapse, government and systems of the government crumble, millions die. That was the world they faced. That was the challenge they had to meet. The way they did with the system, we had a generation to learn from it and set on us. For the past decades, we have been just letting things get worse, not only by ignoring the current situation, but also the past. The past is important as the present because the history repeats itself over and over decades. As we continue to live in the world, sometimes we become aware of certain things, but we continue to ignore it. The problem. And by doing that, it's not helping the world. Many people stay in the same situation not only because they don't want or they don't need help in the world. As a human, we tend to adjust to adapt to certain situations. As Terry M. Moe explains in the Hoover Press, there have been two transformations of American education during the last century. They began during the early 1900s as part of the broader progressive reform of the American government and politics. Not only the problem continues in today's time, but people continue to make the same mistake over and over without coming up with a solution, making it even to make personal beliefs, but also things that they can learn from the past. As Terry T. Moe in the Hoover Press explains, so far accountability and choice have not gone far enough to make a real dent in our union power. The union has been seen to it as things now stand for board reforms are hollow shells and what they may be for. We need to stand together and offer solutions today to today's issues. The solution to change in today's status quo in our world is by having all of us coming together and ask for a change. As John Spencer, the 7 examples of status quo in May 31, 2018, he talks about how some people will resist the change at this point and suggests to reach out to your local government to ask for new ways to change the world and request for new information about the daily laws that affect us without us knowing. To summarize, first we talked about status quo are still part of who we follow as a community and as a nation. I know that sometimes things are more easy if we ignore them, but then again, that is not the solution for our current problems. Change is something we need to be more accepting of if we want things to start getting better. As I mentioned, it's always a good step to step out of your comfort zone in order to achieve great things. Reach out to your local congressman. In conclusion, not only do we need to take action by calling our local congressman and politician, but we also have to take part in this if we continue to ignore it. If we continue to make the problem bigger and not lose control, we will lose control of the situation. Thank you.